Hello, everyone. I thought I would make a video today about ing and ed adjectives. These are adjectives that can be quite complicated sometimes, just because it's difficult sometimes to know when we use ed adjective when describing someone or something, and when we use an ing adjective to describe someone or something. So we're going to work together a little bit today just to clarify that and to hopefully help you all on your English proficiency. So to begin with, when we talk about ed adjectives, we are always talking about a feeling or emotion. So this feeling or emotion can be the feeling of either a human being or even a dog or a fish. So anything that can feel emotion is something that can be described with an ed adjective. So a couple of examples of sentences with ed adjectives would be they're excited, I'm tired, he's bored, he seems interested in the lesson, I am disgusted by the smell, or I'm pleased to hear that. And all of these sentences are describing how someone feels. And that's really the most important thing, which makes ed adjectives quite simple in that you know that if it is something that is not living, you cannot use an ed adjective to describe it. So, for example, a table can never be excited. Um, a cup of coffee can never be captivated, and a chair can never be interested. Okay, these are all things that do not have emotions. Thus, you cannot use ed adjectives when using them. When we talk about ing adjectives, it gets a little bit more complicated, but not as complicated as you might think. Because with ing adjectives, we can talk about people as well as inanimate objects or something that is not living. So when we talk about ing adjectives, it is anything or person or animal, or it can be a situation, it can be an event like a concert, it can be a job, it can be anything essentially that happens in your life. So some examples of an ing adjectives would be this movie is boring, um, that smell is disgusting, this class is exciting, this work is tiring. Okay, so when we say, for example, this work is tiring, we're talking about something that has caused us to feel a certain way. And all ing adjectives are like that. So that can mean for someone made us feel a certain way, or something made us feel a certain way. So I was watching a boring movie. The movie was boring, and it made me feel bored. The movie was boring, it made me feel bored. Can a movie ever be bored? No. A movie can never be bored because a movie is not living. Okay? So, for example, that smell is disgusting. Oh, it's a disgusting smell. So, the smell has caused us or made us feel a certain way. That smell is disgusting. I feel disgusted by the smell. The smell is the cause, which is disgusting, and that's how it made me feel. Um, so if you have, for example, a lesson that is interesting, the lesson is interesting. I'm interested in the lesson. Okay, so how I feel is interested. The lesson is interesting. However, if I have a teacher that is interesting, then I can also feel interested. I can feel interested in that teacher, or I can feel interested in what they are saying. Okay? So, my teacher is interesting because he or she makes interesting lessons. Does that make sense? So, let's go. Let's go and practice a little bit so we can see what we're talking about here. So here we have I am so. Is it going to be relaxed or relaxing? Um, I don't want to move. So we're talking about how does he feel? So what do you guys think? I am so relaxed. It will be relaxed because it's describing his emotions. Okay? So it's really blank how great my exam results were. So here we're not talking about him, we're talking about his exam results. So what do you think would be the correct answer in this situation? It's really blank how great my exam results were. It's going to be surprising because we're talking about his exam results, not about him, not about how he feels. I get really blank when I can't express myself well. So would it be frustrating or frustrated? So I get really, so here we're describing what? An emotion. So it would be frustrated. I get really frustrated. Okay? We were robbed at gunpoint. It was, okay, so here we're not talking about how we feel, we're talking about the situation. The situation was we were getting robbed at gunpoint. So it was terrifying getting robbed at gunpoint. It was a terrifying experience, so I felt terrified. I felt terrified by the terrifying experience of getting robbed at gunpoint. The speech was really interesting or interested? What do you guys think? Interesting or interested? The speech was really interesting. Interesting. Okay, so a speech does not have emotion. A speech is not alive. So it cannot have, we cannot use an ed adjective there. Shelly was blank when we gave her presents. Shelly was what? Shelly was overwhelmed. She was overwhelmed when we gave her presents. It was overwhelming for her. It was too much for her to handle. Okay? So she was overwhelmed. It's how she felt. Whenever I'm stressed, taking a bath is always. So again, here we're talking about taking a bath, not about being stressed. So she's already said how she feels or when she feels stressed. She taking a bath, doing that action is relaxing. It's relaxing to her to take a bath. This is an easy one. Everybody should by now get this one. At least I hope you do. I'm really blank, so I'll go to bed. I'm really what? I'm really tired, so I'll go to bed. So this is one of those adjectives, and with many of these adjectives, you have to be careful because you can actually insult yourself. So for example, if you tell someone, I am tiring, that means that you are the cause of making other people feel tired, which is not good. You don't want to be the reason why other people feel tired. So you say, for example, you would say, my job is tiring or my homework is tiring. Okay? So these are things that would make us feel tired. He is very, what? In history. So it's talking about how he feels. He's very interested. He's very interested in history. Okay, it's something that interests him. Okay, so this will be the last one. The trip was so blank. We had many activities to complete in a short amount of time. So here we're talking about the trip. The trip was so overwhelming. Trip was so overwhelming. Okay, so he felt overwhelmed. That's how he felt. But here in this sentence, we're talking about the trip. It was overwhelming. Does that make sense to everybody? So, well, I almost called you class. So everybody, I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope I was able to help clear up a little bit some of the questions that you may have had, some of your confusion that you may have had in terms of ed and ing adjectives. Everybody, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.